Hey guys, welcome to a new series of videos we are doing. We are Game Maker Tutorial X. This series is going to be about a platformer game, and it's going to be getting into more advanced topics so that we can eventually move on to things like 3D and particles. So as you can see, I downloaded Game Maker Studio, and it's going to work the same if you use like Game Maker 8. I just like it because it looks cooler, and you can get it on Steam for free. Yeah, but you don't need it. I just got it. So as you can see, it works the same way. It has everything the same. So what we're gonna do first is create a new sprite, and if you haven't seen the basics playlist, I suggest that you see that so you know what I'm doing, because I probably won't explain it. So we're going to make a new sprite, and you can give it whatever dimensions you want. I'm gonna do 64 by 64. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention my co-star is here. And he's like not even answering.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Have no fear. Still here.
Alright, we're gonna try and make a guy. Big body, small little head, some little feet. Some little disfigured feet.
Ew.
And
He's quite large, isn't he?
Yeah.
His arms are all
It's okay.
stubby.
This is gonna make him easy to animate. Okay. That's what he is, and he's gonna be white because I like white robots. Okay. So we've created a sprite, and we're gonna center that. Hit OK. Alright, create a new object. Call it object character. Fuck off, Steam. I don't need an achievement every time I do something. Okay, now as you can see, Studio has an option called Uses Physics, and we're probably going to go into physics, so I do suggest that you get this off of Steam. It is free. So yeah, that's that. So we're going to add an event. We're going to add movement, which we also went over. And like I said, I'm going to be going pretty fast because we already went over all of this stuff in the basics. So we're just going to add some basic movement. And we're just going to have light left and right for now, since it is a platformer. And we're going to create a room. And fuck you, Steam, for giving me an achievement. Seriously, achievement for creating room. I feel so special. Created a goddamn room. Okay. So we'll place him in there. And that's all we'll need to do. So let's go ahead and run this and make sure it works.
I think I know what he's gonna do.
And he's going to move left and right.
It's crazy.
And of course we didn't add no keys, so he's going to move left and right forever. So, let's exit out of this. Oh. And 20,000 achievements because I'm awesome. Keyboard, no key, and then stop. Okay. So this is what we have so far, and this loads up much faster in Game Maker Studio, but I hate this stupid splash screen. So we have some basic movement with a little queer ass guy. So basically, we're going to make gravity in this video, and I'm kind of going to go over it fast so I can get into animation, but I'll keep it slow. So what we need is some tiles to kind of, have something to land on. So I'm going to create a new sprite, and I'm going to call it sprite tile.
Or platform.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you want. And just make it 32 by 32 because that's a basic block size. And I'm just going to make like a really crappy gradient. Die, gray, die. Okay, bad gradient. So that's our tile. And we're going to hit OK, and you got to make a quick object for it. And object tile. Now make sure you check solid. That is important in gravity. That basically means it's a solid and other things shouldn't be able to pass through it when we have gravity. And go ahead and go in your room and select object tile and put some object tiles down. Oh, my bad, I didn't select the sprite. Make sure you select the sprite. There we go. Okay, and then put some tiles down, and you can hold Alt to, oops, shit, and then you can hold, was it Shift?
Yeah, shift.
Shift to put down multiple.
Sometimes it might overlap a bunch of times, so just draw back in the other direction.
Right. And since I'm using Game Maker Studio, things are a little bit different, but it's basically the same. Alright, and hit check. Now this isn't going to do anything, so I'm not going to run this. I'm going to add gravity. So the whole point of a platformer is to be able to jump. So to be able to jump, what we're going to have to do is, I think it's, what is it, on create, we check, oh no, you know what, no it's not. Here's what we do. Add a space event. And all we're going to do for this space event is set vertical speed. And to go up, you actually have to use a negative number. So what we're going to do is -10. Now right now this will do nothing. We'll just go up and then stop.
Vertical speed's also the y-axis, because the y-axis is inverted, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When you go up, it's like negative. Then you go down, it's positive. It's really weird.
Yeah. Okay, this is the most important part. Add an event, add a step event, and go to control. Now this one up here that says check empty. It's
a little
top
circle.
one, if a position is collision free.
Yeah.
Check self. In the Y, put 1, so it's checking kind of, kind of upwards more. Check 1, make sure it's only solid objects, and then click relative.
Why would we put 1 and 0?
Because this is to check more like an upwards perimeter, so you don't like head into things. You don't really necessarily need this. This is just for like a wider range. And make sure it's relative, so it checks, you know, its own coordinates. And notice how we did only solid, so we're checking kind of for this tile. So you hit OK. And this, since this is a question action, whatever goes after it is what's going to execute. And we can actually add a block so we know what goes with this question. So basically, if a position is collision free, that means that you're going to be in air. Like whenever you're colliding with another object, you're not, free of collision. But when you're collision free, that means you're in air. That means you hit the space key and you're up. So what we want to do is go to move and then set gravity. I think this is set friction. I'm not used to this thing yet. Where the fuck's gravity? There's gravity. Set gravity. Now for direction 270 is down. It works on a 360 degree type thing, and 270 is down. And for gravity, just put 1 and hit OK. Now we need one more thing for this. Go to control and put an else. And this basically means if this isn't true, do this instead. And it gets its own block as well. And all we're going to have this do is go to move, set gravity, make sure the direction's still down, but have gravity at 0 so it stops the gravity, and hit OK.
So explain this real quick, Connor.
So let me go through this one more time. If a position is collision free, and this is just for a little wider range, you could honestly put this at 0. And make sure it's relative. So if a position is collision free around the current instance, then in a block we're going to set the gravity to a downwards position at, I think it's a velocity of 1, and you can.
So when you're walking, you're doing a collision, right?
When you're not when you're walking.
Well, on the tile.
Yeah, like when you're on the tile, it's a collision. So if this isn't true, it does. Oh shit! What did I do?
Just drag that.
Okay, if this isn't true, then it executes this else, which sets the gravity to 0, which stops the gravity.
So if you're not on a block, don't go anywhere. Or if you're not on a block, fall down. And if you're on a block, don't go anywhere.
Right, so that's the basic rundown. And if you have any questions, just post them in the comments. And we have to add one last thing. We're going to add a collision event with object tile. And all we're going to do is we're going to set vertical speed to 0 because gravity adds to your vertical speed, so you actually have to stop it when you hit something. It doesn't automatically stop it for you. So we have to set your vertical speed to 0, and we have to do move to contact. And what this basically does is moves you to the object, moves you to whatever you're colliding with. So for direction, just type in direction, and this basically means whatever current direction you're in. And for this, for maximum, put 10, and I believe that's something like a speed, so how fast you go, like hitting. 10's a good number, so you don't have like a little bounce every time you hit. And make sure it's against solid objects.
Because our wall is solid.
Right, I'm going to run this, and then I'm going to go over it one last time. So if we run this, we fall instantly and hit the tile. If we hit space, we float up like that until we hit there. So we have basic jumping, which is pretty easy.
So what if you wanted to fall faster?
So if you want to fall faster, all you have to do in the step event is up the gravity to something like 2. Or actually, let's put it up to 3. So you just change values. It's pretty easy. And we run that. And the gravity's a little bit faster. As you can see, we have some basic jumping. Now things can be a little screwed up for what reason. Usually when I run this in GameMaker 8, it runs better. I think something's a little messed up in here. But that's basically it, and actually it's probably smarter to do this. So first move contact in, and then set the vertical speed. I think that's a problem. Okay, so let's go over this one last time. So basically, every step, which is like 30th of a second, if a position is collision free, which means you're right, if you're in the air, set the gravity to 3 downwards. And if you're not in the air, if you're colliding with something, then set the gravity to nothing so you stop going. And then if you collide with this solid object, a tile, move to it, like move to the contact at the current direction that you're at, and this is probably speed. I'm forgetting what maximum is. That's like speed. So you hit that. And then we have our basic movement, which is stop moving, and it's probably better to use, instead of start moving, horizontal speed, since everything's using that. And this works basically just the same way as move fixed. For right, you can just put 4, and for left, you can put -4 since you're going in the opposite direction. And then no key, you don't need this. You can put horizontal speed 0. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. So we have some basic jumping. As I can see, I can just mash it. So what's better to do is to click the event, hit change, and do key release space. So it kind of regulates it just like the shooter. So now, right. Now the gravity's a little heavy, so we can change that just by going to step, set gravity, put it to 2. So it's a little bit slower, like that. Yeah, it looks a little better. So we did a basic platformer with basic gravity, and the next tutorial we'll be going over animation. So we'll see you guys, power-ups, and we'll see you guys in the next tutorial.